Howdy y'all, Los here. Welcome to another episode of Bonsai-YEAH. Today, I'm gonna tackle air layering. Now, I've only done it a few times in the past. I've been successful every time. So I'm gonna show you the method that I've used, and in hopes that you pick up something. Perhaps you just wanna watch some guy air layer for a little bit. Either way, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that little bell icon. I've got this sweet Japanese maple I picked up from Evan Perdue at the Texas State Bonsai Convention. Check out that video right there. It is a Japanese maple. I'm unsure of the variation of it, but it is really cool. Very, very small leaves, dwarfed, and it's about 1 foot too high, I think, in my opinion. So we're gonna air layer some of these branches. I'm super stoked to try it. I'm also going to attempt to air layer on the same branch as well. I heard it can be done, so we're gonna try it. As long as there are branches in between, I think it should work. All right, let's get our materials together and let's get started, shall we? First, I'm gonna need some sphagnum moss and some water. So I've had this old bag of moss I've had for just about ever, little bucket. I'm gonna put some of this sphagnum moss in there. I'm gonna be pretty generous, and then I'm gonna let it soak. Just let it soak up, get all saturated. That way it's ready for when we need it. All right. I got this really sweet dram watering wand. Super great, very convenient, shut off valve. And then I got this 1,000-hole, just gentle sprayer. Someone recommended this and it works wonderfully, as you can see, when it's plugged into here. Once it gets plugged into this thing, it comes out just a big old glob of water, like just an open hose, and it floods. And all my bonsai soil comes flying up out of the pots. It's ridiculous, but there's something, either the valve is not letting enough water in to pressurize this. I can't get any more pressure out of this. So if you guys have any advice on how to make this work with this the best, hey, drop a line. Until then, I'm using it like this and it works fine. These are the materials I'll be using. I've got sphagnum moss, as you just saw, rooting hormone, and a brush. I've got a fresh hobby blade. I've got my pliers and a little bit of wire and aluminum foil. You know it's aluminum foil because it makes that aluminum foil sound. Let's get started. All right, it's time to pick which branches we're going to air layer. So come on in real close and we'll check this out. Okay, so this branch is a really nice branch. I'm really liking this. And there's 2 areas I feel I'm going to do an air layer. So it'll be this main area, which will give me a nice trunk to work with. So probably the area right between here. So I'm gonna air layer about 1 inch of that. Then I'm gonna also air layer this branch right up here. So let's do this. Okay, so you're gonna grab your X-Acto knife. You're gonna find the area you want to air layer. You're going to want to score around, and you're gonna probably go for about 1 inch. And we're gonna expose the white part underneath. I want the trunk to be yay tall here, so we'll go and cut this off here. All right, so I think we're gonna do the air layer from here. So I'm going to carefully dig my knife in, and I'm not going very deep. Can you see how deep that is right there? You just want to push till you start feeling it hit the wood underneath. And what you can do is you can keep the pressure on and just sort of roll it. Just roll it a bit. I'm just gonna get this knob right off here. There we go. Okay, next I'm gonna do the same thing, about an inch down. Once you've got your score line in, now I don't think I'm all the way around, but that's okay. I'm gonna start cutting more as I go along. We're gonna give it a cut from line to line very carefully. Now, get real close for this one. Check this out. Now we can start to peel it up and off that. See that? Ain't that something? Take a look at that. Excellent. Got the rooting hormone. Got my brush. Just going to get that stuff on there. If it gets on the leaves, it's okay. We'll go ahead and we'll wipe all that off later. We're going to get a handful of the sphagnum moss and then just squeeze the ever loving ever out of it. You don't want it to be sopping wet, but you do want there to be some moisture. So I think that's perfect. That's a perfect amount, a little handful. We're going to need this in a second as well. Basically taking this and you're making sure there's a nice even layer of sphagnum all the way around. There you have it. One thing I forgot to mention, you should probably get some plastic wrap for this part. This way the moisture can retain in there. Maybe overdid it with the plastic wrap, but that's okay. All right. Next you're gonna get some of this wire. Tie off the tree here, sort of. That's where it's going to keep it nice and protected and humid in there. Humid. And to protect this from drying out too fast, I'm going to use a little bit of reflective aluminum foil. And you got to make sure it's reflective, otherwise it doesn't work. pinching on the ends up here, you know, to create a nice little environment in there for the roots to take place and take hold. Okay, so that's one successful air layer. Well, it's not successful yet. It was applied successfully. I think I did a good job. So next one, I think it's definitely going to be this branch here. We want to take this guy off. So I'm going to do the same technique. And since you guys already have seen how I do it, we're just going to speed up right through there. So check this out. Bing! All right, we've got the air layers on, looking good. So I've got some new growth here, and I think I can cut some of this off here and get them in some soil with rooting hormone, and we can have some cuttings. So I'm gonna do that right now. Got this nice one here. Go back and cut it right where the old wood is. I think I grabbed enough cuttings. I'm gonna grab 10 of them from this tree. Thank you, tree, for letting me have 10 of your cuttings. We're gonna process these into cuttings, which we're gonna put in the greenhouse, and hopefully in a month or two, we'll start seeing some progress and growth on them, and we may have 10 more of these trees. Okay, so what I have here is a 10 cell with heavy perlite organic soil, and I've got a bowl of water, which I'm going to go ahead and put all my cuttings in first. Just rinse them all off. It basically just keeps them a little healthier while we do all the work here. Okay. First and foremost with these cuttings, we're going to need a root hormone. Just use the lid. I went ahead and I poked a hole using my trusty little garden tool found in the kitchen section. Why would they have that in there? I don't know why. Okay, so first and foremost, you want to get rid of the growing tip. It won't be needed. And pretty much we're going to keep these two, we're pretty much going to just keep these two leaves, basically. We also want to keep the petiole intact. That is the little internode thing, the little bud that pops up. So I'm just going to go ahead and process that. This one's even a little too long. Okay, so we want to cut pretty much at that internode because that's where we're going to have the root growth coming from, most likely. It can also come from this area, but right there where the activity is where we want to be. Next, okay, just gonna dip it in our rooting hormone. I'm gonna drop in there nice and deep. One thing you don't want to do is dip it and then just try to shove it in there without a hole first. Otherwise, all that stuff you just put on it just wipes right off. Make a hole first. All right, to finish this off, I'm gonna top it off with akadama. It's gonna act as like a mulch also. It's going to keep them hydrated, and it's aesthetically pleasing. It's not just a bunch of dirt. So, got my little espresso cup, perfect for this type of application. And I'm just gonna fill in that space that was created once I started pressing down the soil, tamping it down lightly. Quality akadama with that's a rather good quality soil. I mixed it myself, using only the finest ingredients, of course. I think I used like the Miracle-Gro peat moss and the Miracle-Gro. It's basically Miracle-Gro, but some people would say that's the finest. Call yourself Miracle, you should live up to that, I suppose. There you have it. 2 ways to propagate your tree: by cuttings, by air layering. I think both are great methods. Try one, try both, try them all. Find some more of them. Either way, thank you for watching. If you like our content, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that little bell icon. We'll see you next time. Be cool, stay hip, get yourself a hobby. Bye.